The first time I saw 50 calories air rifle fold a hog at 40 yards, I knew we weren't in Red Ryder territory anymore. Today's air rifles are lighter, quieter, and harder hitting than ever, and yeah, they're absolutely lethal when set up right. What's up everyone? This is Luke from Ant Prepper, and today we're counting down the air rifles that pack enough punch for real hunting, serious pest control, and even home defense if you need it. Before I start, I would really appreciate it if you would push those buttons below, the subscribe button, the notification bell, all of them. This is not necessary, but those little clicks help a brother out. Plus, it pushes me to give you more valuable car-related content on your screen. Now, buckle up and let's get back to the video. Okay, let's start with some air rifles with serious firing power for hunting. Air Force Texan. The Air Force Texan doesn't just flirt with the edge of airgun capability, it kicks the door in. I've taken this rifle into the field more than once, and every time I load up one of those half-inch slugs, it feels more like I'm running a lightweight centerfire than a PCP. With over 750 foot-pounds of energy on tap and velocities that can push past 1,100 feet per second, this thing is built to drop big animals clean. Deer, hogs, coyotes, no question, the Texan has the muscle to handle them. The Lothar Walther barrel is long, about 34 inches, and it needs every inch to stabilize those heavy rounds. It's a single-shot side-lever design, topped with an extended 11mm optics rail. You're not getting sights on this thing because, let's be honest, you'll be running glass anyway. The carbon fiber tank brings the weight down to just over 6 pounds, which is wild for something with this kind of power. The TX2 valve and 475cc tank keep it breathing strong, and that two-stage trigger is crisp, around 2 pounds, and easy to work with gloves on. This is raw, purpose-built hunting gear. Clean, American-made, no fluff. Now, if your idea of airgun fun involves full auto bursts and fast follow-ups, the next rifle brings that energy loud and clear. Hatsan Pile Driver. I took the Hatsan Pile Driver on a feral hog hunt last fall, and I'm still impressed by how much raw force this rifle brings to the table. Shooting 50 caliber slugs with over 800 foot-pounds of energy, it hits like a slow-moving freight train. Every shot carries weight you can feel. The big surprise was how balanced it felt for its size. The bullpup design lets you keep that full-length 33-inch barrel, but it doesn't feel front-heavy in the field. The carbon fiber tank holds 480 cc of air at 300 bars, and I constantly got 3 full-power shots before pressure dropped off. That's more than enough if you're patient and pick your shots. The adjustable stock and cheek riser helped me get settled behind the glass, and the Quattro trigger broke clean without feeling spongy. The oversized loading port handles big slugs up to 34mm, which gives you flexibility in the ammo department. For around $1,200, you're getting serious game-stopping capability in a gun built for real field use. No frills, just raw, repeatable power with ergonomics that work. Next up, we'll get into a 50 calories air rifle that puts faster follow-up shots and handling at the forefront without giving up on accuracy. Seneca Dragon Claw 2. The Seneca Dragon Claw 2 is one of those air rifles that's built for real hunting, not just backyard targets or light game. I've used the Dragon Claw platform for years, and the Gen 2 upgrade really leveled it up. You're working with a 50 caliber PCP that now pushes out up to 340 foot-pounds of energy, and does it with options. You can run traditional lead slugs or load up Seneca air bolts, which are wickedly accurate and hit with massive force. That versatility is what makes this rifle shine in the field. The rifled barrel stabilizes both slugs and bolts cleanly, and I've personally dropped medium-sized game at 50 yards, using 336 grain flat-nose rounds. It cycles with a bolt-action system, and the longer cocking handle helps keep it smooth even when things get cold or muddy. The hardwood Monte Carlo stock gives it a more classic, rifle-like feel, and the dual 500cc air reservoirs give you enough shot count to stay in the field all day. You're filling to 3,000 pounds per square inches, and in my hands, I was getting around 4 to 5 full-power shots with slugs and close to 9 with round balls. Accuracy stays consistent, and those air bolts, they'll push 600 frames per second and stay flat out to 40 yards easy. Price is around $850 to $900, which is solid considering the punch and flexibility you're getting. Now, let's move on to air rifles that you should consider using for home or personal defense. Benjamin Marauder. The Benjamin Marauder semi-auto ended up sitting behind my back door, loaded more often than I thought it would. For a home defense setup that won't punch through half your house but still hits with authority, it just makes sense. You're working with a .22 caliber PCP, pushing out rounds at up to 950 feet per second, and topping out around 28 foot-pounds of energy. That's solid stopping power for anything from raccoons to a two-legged threat in close quarters. What I really like is the way it handles under pressure. The semi-auto action runs clean, and the 10-shot rotary mag feeds smoothly without hiccups. I've tested it hard, fast trigger pulls, back-to-back mags, and it keeps up without skipping a beat. The regulator holds pressure consistently, and the adjustable hammer spring lets me tune power down a touch if I'm indoors or shooting around structures. The shrouded barrel keeps the report surprisingly quiet, which matters when your neighbors are a fence away. Build-wise, it's light enough to stay nimble, especially with the synthetic stock, and the pick rail makes mounting optics quick. It's a grab-and-go rifle, and for around $700, it feels purpose-built. Hatsan Blitz. When I started looking into full-auto PCPs for defensive roles, the Hatsan Blitz stood out like nothing else. I keep one in, .30 caliber by the bed, loaded with heavy pellets, because it gives me what I was. Fast follow-up shots, real stopping power, and no wires, batteries, or electronics to deal with. Just air, a trigger, and full auto fire when I need it. The swing-load rotary magazine feeds smoothly, even in full auto, and I've had zero failures with it cycling at high rates. You're getting over 50 foot-pounds of energy, which is no joke in .30 caliber. Add in a 580cc carbon fiber tank, and I'm getting around 100 good shots per fill, which gives me peace of mind if something goes sideways in the middle of the night. The manual selector switch lets me run it like a carbine in semi-auto for tighter control, but that full auto setting, it clears space fast. The quiet energy barrel tames the report enough not to shake the walls, and the adjustable comb and butt pad help me stay locked in behind the optic. It retails around $1,100, but I'd pay that again tomorrow for what it offers. But you know what? You don't need to spend that big for a reliable air rifle for defense. You gotta check the next gun. Umarex Gauntlet 2. The Umarex Gauntlet 2 in .22 or .25 is one of those rifles I'd keep close for home defense if I wanted something quiet, reliable, and easy to run under pressure. I've spent time with both calibers, and for a platform that stays under $500, it punches way above its class. With up to 51 foot-pounds of energy and a 10-round rotary mag, you're getting power and repeat shots without breaking the bank or drawing half the neighborhood's attention. The side lever action has been upgraded with a large knurled handle that cycles fast and smooth, even when I'm moving in tighter spaces. That matters when you're relying on the rifle to feed and fire cleanly. The air cylinder fills to 4,500 pounds per square inches, and the built-in regulator keeps shot velocity consistent. I've gotten 70 usable shots in, 22 and just over 50 in .25. All of them grouping tight under 25 yards, which is perfect for defensive ranges. The new stock design is lighter and slimmer, with M-lock slots for adding lights or a small laser. The 4-baffle shroud drops noise by around 8 decibels compared to the original Gauntlet, which helps keep things discreet indoors. It shoulders well, the trigger is crisp, and the height-adjustable cheek rest makes it easy to run optics on the combo rail. For a quiet, accurate mag-fed platform with real-world stopping power, this one checks all the right boxes. Now, if you only want air rifles for daily, practical use, say, pest control, the next one should make sense. FX Impact M3. I've used the FX Impact M3 for ground squirrels, raccoons, and more than a few coyotes where legal, and it's never let me down. What makes it one of the best pest and wildlife control rifles I've ever shouldered comes down to one word: control. This rifle lets you dial in every aspect of the shot. I can adjust the hammer, tension, valve dwell, and dual regulators right in the field, no tools needed. That kind of flexibility means I can tune it low for backyard pests, then crank it up to push a heavy, 30-calorie slug clean through a raccoon at 70 yards. The Power Plenum 720 gives the rifle its signature punch without compromising shot consistency. I've watched prairie dogs drop like stones with this setup. The macro and micro power wheels make it simple to tweak velocity in real time, and the side shot mag, smooth side lever, and crisp adjustable trigger bring it all together like a proper precision rig. Build quality is top shelf, no question. The action, tolerances, and finish feel like they came out of a custom shop. Price floats around $2,100, depending on caliber and config, but it earns every dollar. Day-State Red Wolf. The Day-State Red Wolf is what I reach for when I need surgical-level precision in pest and wildlife control. From raccoons in the garden to prairie dogs out past 80 yards, this rifle doesn't just shoot tight groups, it practically rewrites what accuracy means for a production airgun. My Red Wolf in 22 high power has turned more pests into clean, one-shot drops than anything else in the safe. It's a fully electronic rifle, built with a digitally regulated power system that pairs with Day-State's ART or advanced rifle technology programming, letting it deliver over 50 foot-pounds with perfect shot-to-shot consistency. And the trigger is a micro-switched electronic unit that breaks at just 5 ounces. It feels like tapping a touchscreen, and the lock time is nearly instant. The side lever action is mechanical, but smooth enough that I've literally measured cocking force in ounces, not pounds. The laminate stock is beautifully finished and fully adjustable, and the magazine system is dead simple and secure. This rifle is quiet, thanks to its full shroud, and the accuracy with both pellets and slugs is unreal. Consistent sub-half-inch groups at 50 yards without sorting ammo. You're looking at around $2,900, which is premium territory, but you're getting competition-tier performance with out-of-the-box usability. And finally, Brocock Sniper XR Magnum. I started using the Brocock Sniper XR Magnum during the late summer months when the property got overrun with critters. Skunks, armadillos, raccoons, you name it. I needed something compact, powerful, and repeatable. This rifle in .25 caliber checked all those boxes and more. It delivers up to 55 foot-pounds of energy, which is plenty for medium-sized pests out past 60 yards. The Huma air regulator is a standout feature. I noticed right away how consistent the velocity stayed, even across a full mag. That matters when you're aiming at small targets in low light. The match-grade polygon barrel on mine likes JSB Kings and sends them with enough authority to anchor anything that shouldn't be on the property. The high-low power adjuster has been handy too. I dial it down when working on closer shots inside the barn or chicken coop. The rifle feels solid but not bulky. The side lever cycles smoothly, the 10-shot mag drops in clean, and the adjustable cheek piece and butt pad helps set up a repeatable shooting position. It's also got a solid integrated moderator that keeps the report discreet. For around $1,500, this thing's built for field work, not bench trophies. It's one of the most practical pest rifles I own.